All right, here at Future Summit, and Danny just stepped off the stage talking about AI and how it helps transform organizations, businesses, governments. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Danny. I come from Malaysia, but I've been traveling quite a bit in the last 20 years. I'm a serial entrepreneur, started quite a few companies in the past 20 years, with the most recent one being sold to one of the financial institutions in the UK.
Nice.
It's an education startup. I started this company with two scientists from Tokyo, from Keio universities, where we were asked by large corporations to help them to solve certain problems. So it started with a very random idea to just say that, why don't we assemble a team of like-minded people, do something that we like, as well as making some money. It was a very simple, natural move.
Yeah.
But without us realizing, the company ballooned up the growth to more than 120-150% year-on-year growth.
Wow.
So we decided to, why don't we make it bigger? We started to receive venture money, investment, and now we're under the pressure to actually deliver even faster growth. So that's where the difficulty comes in.
Yeah. VC community can be like having me on your back.
That's right.
Oh man, that's very interesting. Okay, so serial entrepreneur, you got some successes, some wins, but here you are in your next one. And this one is on AI, artificial intelligence. Tell us a little bit more about that, because AI, we're hearing it everywhere. For the common person like me and maybe those listening, like, what is it?
I think I'd like to make it 2 points. One is AI is actually still in an infant stage. It's like a 2-year-old kid. And you always try to imagine what you can do with a 2-year-old kid. You have to teach them.
Yep.
And when you teach them, they do what you try to teach them. They're not like a 5-year-old kid with a lot of commands.
Yep.
And they do follow you, but you do have to teach them step by step.
Yep.
For example, you have to teach them how to walk,
but
they won't automatically learn how to eat.
Yeah.
You have to teach them separately of how to use the fork and spoon to eat. You have to teach them how to read separately as well. So it's not like it's automatically evolving from one learning to another. And you have to continuously teaching them how to walk better, how to eat better.
Yeah.
And that's basically what AI is at the moment. It simply doesn't deviate from an objective that we're trying to teach and make it learn. And it will self-learn from making him learn point A to point B, and it will automatically learn the way how they walk to point B, rather than like a robot. You have to program it exactly, moving 30 degrees to your right in 3 steps, moving 40 degrees to your left in 5 steps. So that's point number 1, that AI simply self-learn in a very preset objective. It doesn't automatically learn itself outside the domain.
Okay.
And point number 2 is very important with all these hypes of AI and what does it do. Simply, it is used to replace some of the repetitive tasks that we hate to do. Human beings is always trying to evolve ourselves we are lazy. We try to use more tools, create more tools. This is what we use AI for.
Yeah.
It's just slightly more intelligent. So for example, what is bank? A financial institution.
Yeah.
It's a highly regulated industry. We have put the most rules in it, that some rules are contradicting with each other. And the only thing you should be doing is not to break the rules. Bank. You put the money in, you withdraw the money out. The bank should keep your money. Not all these dodgy manipulations of stock price and all these things. So the most important thing for a banking industry at the moment is not only to automate its existing processes. That's what mostly RPA companies are doing.
Okay, that's RPA.
But what we are trying to do is, in a much more easier way, is to monitor how these people are behaving, to audit them.
Okay.
The auditing process used to be very manual, but what we are trying to do is to 100% to automate the auditing process of checking all these cases. Did you provide the loan correctly on time? Did you withdraw money more than you should? All these things. So the point is, we're trying to understand the objective of an organization trying to save time, remove those repetitive, boring tasks from human beings, and try to make their life better.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really good. That's the most, that analogy of a 2-year-old and training is the best understanding and description of AI I've heard. And I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And especially at that age, a 2-year-old. I have a 6-year-old boy, so I get that. And that 2-year-old, yeah, it's that training, the basic steps.
Yes.
But what also, when you said that, I get excited for the future. Because I go, if it's just 2 right now, because AI is changing the game
Yes.
as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
A 2-year-old is bringing massive change to
Yes.
society. What does the future look like? So I mean, personally, I'm already excited about it. I don't know much about it, but I'm like, I would imagine you're in the right spot. I imagine you feel like you're in the right spot at the right time with this business.
That's of course good and bad. The good one being, for example, we move from the internet age to the mobile age, where things are a lot simpler. Suddenly, you can have a computer on your hand.
Yeah.
And now another problem arises is simply I tap on my phone too many times. I have to look at my phone too many times.
Yeah.
So what's the future is naturally we like to put these automations that we used to, the moves that we used to do
Yep.
in a much more simpler way rather than I now have problems of every time I have to check my messages.
Yeah.
I have to tell people that I'm actually in Bucharest today. I'm not in London. So please
Yeah.
don't call me, don't message me.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do that?
Yeah.
It can
So
be
true.
automated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the good thing of the evolutions of automation from mobile age to the next stage of automation where it's lasting. It should be much more seamless into human life rather than introducing another tool
Yeah.
to make people learn how to use it.
Yes. Yeah.
The real automations that we are seeing from now on is an automation that we can actually simply deploy to our behavior rather than have to introduce another website, another app for people
Yes.
to use.
Yeah.
It should be the moment I walk into this room, I should be known that I'm in this room.
Yeah.
I should be know where I am in the room
Yeah.
as long as within certain privacy sector. That leads to the bad part. The 2-year-old boy, the 2-year-old
Yeah.
will grow.
Yes.
It will grow to 5-year-old. And it depends on how we train the 2-year-old to
Wow.
behave to the 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Every parents teach differently.
Yeah.
And that's the contradict part.
Interesting.
And some people may not have enough discipline to train a 2-year-old to become a much behaved 5-year-old kid. And what would this 5-year-old kid do? Complain, knows how to do?
Yeah.
They're very different. So that is the part that we don't know because we ourselves are different people. I'm talking about AI researchers,
Yeah.
the scientists are different.
Yeah.
Some people may put an AI into a machine gun, into a drone.
Yeah.
Some people may try to help education, healthcare, non-profit better.
Yeah.
And that is the part that I am not blaming the technology, it's simply human behavior.
Yeah. Wow. So as you look at Romania, have you been here before your visit?
I have been here a few times. I always love the wine here and the cheese.
Romanian wine, it's great.
That's
it's a little
the
known
best.
secret. The
That's
country as a whole is almost a little known secret.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so you've been here a number of times. When you look at Romania, what do you think of? Like, I mean, you see Romania from living in London, but also coming from Malaysia. When you think of Romania, what's good here?
Of course, I do have very limited information and time to explore more. At the moment, there are two very striking points to me. One is obviously the technical talents, as you say.
Yeah.
There are just so many technical talents that can actually do so many more things with better imaginations.
Yeah.
I think I do have the experience similar to when I was trying to explore Vietnam. Could be in different time, could be in a similar stage, where they have a lot of technical talents, but how to actually put these skills into something useful. And that's the main domain that I've been exploring even for ourselves is rather than hiding in a lab to research, we need to put those technology into a real applications, into a full use. So I think this is the part where from what I hear, from what I spoke to people, the Romanian engineer needs to know a lot more domain problem.
Yeah.
And they need to become domain expertise, or they need to actually work more with the domain experts in, let's say, from developed countries, UK or US, banking experts,
Okay.
education experts, to understand the real problem, then only they can create a solution that can tailor to that.
Nice.
The market is small enough,
Yep.
so you need to look bigger.
Okay.
So, and the second thing is very simple. Why? Yeah.
Those go really good together. Hackathons and developers, wine and beer. Those two mix.
When I was in Cluj,
I think-
I realized that I was basically drunk in 20 hours out of 24. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Romania is just an amazing country, and I'm thankful you're here. I'm
Yeah.
thankful you're bringing these ideas, this wisdom and concepts to the country. I hope some 17-year-old entrepreneur watches this and goes, okay, there's an opportunity for me in the market,
Yeah,
and reaches
yeah.
out to you.
Yeah.
So we're going to get your information, put it in the video so people can connect with your company and what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your time. Last question I always ask people, it's a bit of a ringer, throw at you at the end. When you hear the word good, what is good to you?
That comes in a very personal perspective. My good has to be beyond what we know we are already doing. My good can be simplified as a term problem solving. Because you never know what the problem is, so you need human to create the solution. So the people or company that has a better problem solving skills, facing this evolving society, technology, demand, requirements, that's the only way that we can become good and always be standing ahead of the curve to be better. And the rest are all the actions and moves that I call it can be automated because they are already repetitive.
Okay.
If you already know the answer, you can be automated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I appreciate your time.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Danny.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.